top of some rocks, alongside a pier, a crab named Mellie climbed high without fear. Mellie loved going high. She laughed at the other crabs as she passed them by. She was very, very confident. Mellie climbed on the other crabs to get ahead. She stepped on their bodies. She stepped on their heads. When a crab got in front of her, she pulled it back down. "Get behind me. I'm first," she would shout with a frown. Mellie didn't pay attention to anybody else. Mellie was just thinking about herself. Mellie was all full of herself, all puffed up. And when other crabs were trying to come along with her, she pushed them out of the way. She paid no attention. Mellie was all about Mellie. Though none of the crabs liked her, Mellie wouldn't stop. All that mattered to her was being first to the top. So the other folks, the other crabs didn't like her because she didn't care anything about them. She only cared about herself. One day, as Mellie raced towards the sky, she saw something strange from the corner of her eye. She paused just for a moment, then cried with regret when suddenly she was surrounded by what? A giant red net. See, she was so full of herself she wasn't paying attention. She wasn't looking around at what was going on around her. Mellie was trapped. She struggled to get free, but the net was too strong, so she cried out what? "Somebody help me!" See, she got herself in big trouble because she wasn't paying attention, because she wasn't thinking. Mellie was dumped into a pail on the shore with 3 other crabs, and now there were 4. The other crabs stared at her, then laughed with all their might. Mellie went from top to bottom, they said. This serves her right. Mellie didn't care, she said. Just watch me climb. I can get to the top anywhere, anytime. Even though she was trapped in the net, Mellie still wasn't paying attention. She was still just full of herself and not thinking about her situation. But the other crabs grabbed hold of her. They pulled her back down. "Let me go," cried Mellie as she fell to the ground. Mellie tried again, but they clung to her leg. "We're not letting you out even if you beg. We're all trapped in here. You're stuck with us too. If we can't get out, then neither will you." So all of a sudden, Mellie had to learn that it wasn't about her, that if she was going to succeed, the others had to succeed with her. You had to have a partnership. You had to think of others. Mellie finally gave up and came down with a tear. "I'll never make it out," she sobbed with great fear. As Mellie's heart quickly filled with dread, the words of her tutu popped into her head. Who is Tutu? Tutu, that's right, her grandparents. The words of her tutu. Here's what Tutu said. This is what came into her mind. This is what we want to remember. We want to remember the words. "Care for others first, and true joy you will find," said Tutu Papai, so wise and so kind. "If you think only of yourself, you will be sad. But if you put others first, your heart will be glad." I'm going to read that again because this is what Tutu told, and this is what Tutu is telling us, and what Mellie is telling us today about all of your friends and all of your ohana here at Pu'uhale School. Care for others first, and true joy you will find. But if you think only of yourself, you will be sad. But if you put others first, your heart will be glad. If you think of others here at Pu'uhale School, if you think of your classmates and your friends first, and everybody thinks the same way, everyone will be a big ohana. Somewhere along the way, Mellie forgot. She forgot about the others and all her tutu had taught. And now Mellie realized that Tutu words were true. Letting others be first is what she must do. Maybe I don't have to be the first and the best. Starting right now, I will help the rest. What can I do to make sure they get out? Oh, now I've got it, exclaimed Mellie with a shout. See, as soon as Mellie began to think of others, she began to, how could they cooperate with each other? How could they work together so that they could escape the net? Mellie told the first Pu'uhale to climb on her head. Use your legs and I'll help you, is what Mellie said. Mellie pushed with all her might, and the first crab was free. Your turn, Mellie said to the others. Let's get you out to the sea. Mellie was working together with the others to help them out of the net. Now it was Mellie's turn. She knew she couldn't fail. When at last she got out, she looked back at the pail. She knew she'd always remember her lesson of the day. It took an old yellow bucket to show her the way. This is our lesson of the day. Mellie was so happy, and so were her new friends. What a wonderful way for this story to end. For Mellie had learned a good lesson that day. When you put others first, you live life the right way. So that's our lesson for today from Mele the Crab. Okay? We're going to repeat the lesson now. The lesson for today from Mele the Crab. Ready? When you put others first. Can we all say that? When you put others first. You live life. Let's say it. You live life. Ready? The right way. One more time. The right way. Okay, when you put others first, you live life the right way. Let's hear it for Mele the Crab and Pu'uhale School.